So, the greatest thing ever happened yesterday. I Show Speed officially met Ronaldo. It actually happened. I can't believe that after all this time since Chapter 3, Season 1 Fortnite, can't believe I'm using that description, a simple 179 donation sent by Bradley would lead to this. The amount of things that have happened since this one clip. There's a charity match, and now there's this. This is amazing. This year's Father's Day, we just got amazing news. Strike Day Part 7 and 8 are going to be happening on the 5th and 7th of July. Can you believe it? It's still not the end. I can't believe my takeaway from this is there's going to be more Strike Day videos instead of the fact that people are going to strike. Internet Cringe is a week as here as I do what I go over a few of the topics that have happened on the internet recently, and to begin with, we have The Flash and the many reasons I never ever want to see this film. It was me, Barry. I like DC. Batman is my favourite superhero. The Joker is not my favourite villain, but you know, he's up there. I do not like the DC Extended Universe. Aside from the fact that that name is the stupidest name I've ever heard of, what exactly has been extended about this universe? But this thing has been a disaster since its inception. I mean, there's the whole boy-style colour filter over Man of Steel, and how dark that movie was. There's Batman v Superman, where the lovable comic relief Jimmy Olsen becomes a CIA agent and gets brutally murdered. There's the fact that Doomsday was just awful, and let's not forget how Batman pulls out an entire Warzone meta loadout and massacres and bulldozes hundreds of people. I don't care what he is going through, alright? Having a whole Batman kills because he's lost himself but will soon redeem himself is not a good plot line, because the whole point is that no matter what happens, he will not kill. It's what ruined Gotham in Season 4, and it's what ruined this. Then there's the whole split universe thing, where there was 2 Justice League movies telling the same story, neither of which are any good. I don't care what you say, I'm not watching 4 hours of a 3.4 scale movie. Now, there are some good movies in this franchise, but none of them are good enough for me to justify putting proper time into the series. Enter The Flash, the movie that, let's be honest, only has any traction because Michael Keaton is back as Batman, and stars Ezra Miller. That was the main reason I just did not want to watch this movie. What made it even worse is that Ezra Miller actually attended the Flash premiere. If you guys are unaware at this point, Ezra Miller did a whole host of crimes, including grooming a child and leading a cult. Somehow the police were not at the premiere waiting to make an arrest. But I think what makes this worse is all the production and cast members willingly being here with this person. I mean, you know what happened, right? But that's not the only gripe I have with this movie. In an effort to actually get this movie willingly watched by other people, they added Michael Keaton as Batman. Tries who made that is the only reason he's in this movie. And apparently there's a scene where a bunch of other people cameo as characters, basically making this No Way Home and Spider-Verse, but so much worse. Do you want to know why it's worse? Because a lot of the cameos in this movie aren't even cameos. They are CGI remakes of deceased Superman actors. I am not lying when I say this. Christopher Reeves is in this. George Reeves is in this, who, as we know, died in a very, very tragic way. And it's just, they're not even cameos at this point. Half of what makes a cameo is the actor is there to do it. The actor is not here to do this, it's just a poor CGI attempt. And also, apparently the CGI in this movie is awful. And apparently they did it on purpose, so what is going on? The sad part is, this is The Flash we're talking about, one of the greatest superheroes of all time. And this is the only movie we have of him, and probably the only movie we'll get for a long time. We've been waiting for this since the 1980s, okay? It's been in development hell since then, and somehow we got an Aquaman movie before we got a Flash movie. The Flash, man. And the worst part is, not only is it a DCEU movie, it's this. The box office records for this movie have been abysmal since it came out, and yet somehow a bunch of celebrities have voiced how much they like this movie. I'm about 99% sure it's a conspiracy though. But yeah, this movie is tragic, especially as it's a Flash movie. Moving on. We are not releasing this year anymore. We're releasing in the next decade. Back on the topic of movies that have taken too long to come out, the writer's strike has delayed pretty much every movie in existence. Star Wars movies have been delayed. Most of the big Marvel projects have been delayed up till 2024. And the most famous one, Avatar. The 3rd movie is now coming out in 2025 now, even though it was originally meant to be released in 2024. And the 5th movie in the franchise, the final, will be released in 2031. 2031, I will have an entire family by that point. I think, if my whiz is good enough. But yeah, it's just mad that this is now taking until 2031. It took us 13 years, I think it is, to get the second Avatar movie, and now the series will finish in 2031. This is amazing. But with that out of the way, that is the end of this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and a happy Father's Day. All my socials will be linked down below for one week. Greatly appreciated. Hitting like, subscribe and notification button is also greatly appreciated, and hope to see you all again. And like I always say, if I do see you again, it's when I see you again. Bye bye.